You must love podcasts if you're listening to this. Do you want to start your own one or you already have one? Then follow Smarter Podcasting to get expert advice from me, Niall Mackay, the podcast guy. Since 2019, we've worked with over 40 podcasters, produced over 700 episodes, and helped many podcasts get to the top of the Apple Podcast charts. And right now, I'm offering you a professional edit for just $27. Click the link in the show notes. So exciting, we just had the Michelin guide come to Vietnam for the first time. What difference did that make to the scene?
There's a lot of controversial about Michelin guide coming here, but for me, I look at it as an opportunity for Vietnam to attract more tourists. The Michelin guide is technically showing you what you should try. I don't know about other Vietnamese, but I need like warm meals. I cannot do it like cereal sandwich. I would die.
In the first episode of this season of a Vietnam podcast, I reconnected with Thuyen, and we spoke for a little bit longer than I had planned, so I've split that episode into two parts. So if you haven't heard the first part, don't worry, it's not related directly to this episode, but you should go back and check it out. And in this episode, we talk more about fine dining in Vietnam and how the Michelin guide has visited here and what that has meant for the food scene in Vietnam and how Thuyen has adjusted to that. So enjoy part 2 of a Vietnam podcast with Thuyen Vo. Welcome to another episode of a Vietnam podcast. This is season 10, where I am interviewing past guests who have joined me throughout previous seasons. My name's Niall Mackay, and I first came to Vietnam in 2015 for a holiday. I went back to New Zealand where I lived at the time, and my wife and I just couldn't stop eating Vietnamese food, Vietnamese coffee, even ba ba ba, which is one of the worst beers you can get. Fell in love with the place, decided to come back, came back for about 6 weeks, and 8 years later, we're still here. So there's something about Vietnam that keeps us here. My guest today was on season 6 back in 2021. She's been a host on the Best Ever Food Review Show, which is one of the biggest channels on YouTube. She has her own English and Vietnamese language centers. And she was on season 6 way back in 2021 when we were smack dab in the middle of a lockdown pandemic. We met online on Zoom and we've never met before until today. So my guest today is Thuyen Vo. Food has changed dramatically. When we first came here, it was like, I want to get a banh mi because it costs less than $1. I want to get cum tam because it costs $1. But now the fine dining scene, and what I want to ask you about, to talk about, which is so exciting, we just had the Michelin guide come to Vietnam for the first time. What difference did that make to the scene?
There's a lot of controversial, about Michelin guide coming here, but for me, I look at it as an opportunity for Vietnam to attract more tourists. Like people get really emotional when you talk about food because it's like a memory, it's like an experience, and everybody was fighting towards the list, like, oh, why is this one is not good and it was not. I feel like every list is like it cannot be perfect, and they have a very different purpose when they make the list. So Michelin guide is technically, from what I understand, is the guide that tourists come into a new country and they don't know what they're gonna get. So for example, if you go to Vietnam for the first time, how do you know what pho is or what banh mi is? Yeah, maybe you have it in your home country, but still here. And then when it goes down to like bún riêu, bún chả, like you said, right? Like they don't know. So the Michelin guide is technically showing you what you should try. For example, like the local food, and then they move on to something different, like fine dining, or don't have to be fine dining, but can be like casual dining, right? And they have different category, because everybody was quite confused about Michelin guide, beef gourmet, or 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, and they all put into, oh, this is a Michelin place.
I'd never heard of that either. There was like the Michelin guide, which is like a book
Yeah.
I don't even know what the beef gourmand or what was it you
Yeah, the
said?
beef gourmet. Yeah.
Beef
So
gourmet.
yeah,
And then
so
there's like the actual Michelin star, right?
exactly.
Which is
Yeah.
totally different things.
Right.
And one thing I read about as well was there's no such thing as a Michelin star chef.
No. Oh my God. I'm so
Right? You've
happy you
read this
brought
as
that
well,
up.
yeah. It's like
Yeah.
it's a Michelin star restaurant. The
Mm.
chef doesn't take the star with him.
No. But yeah, but he can work there,
He
right?
worked at a Michelin star restaurant,
Exactly.
but he's
But
not a Michelin star
no,
chef, which is
there's no
commonly,
such thing.
yeah.
Yeah. But I think but I understand, right? Because when you do marketing, you kind of have to put that.
Research.
Yeah. Like it's hard for you to write. He used to work at like yeah, so they put it as short like yeah, the 2 Michelin. I get that. But I understand why some people when they dive deep into the F&B scene then they get a little, worked up. And I get that too. Yeah, but I think yeah, I was really happy when they came here, because like you said, Saigon developed so much and we never have a Michelin ever, ever. Now they're coming to Da Nang. And yeah, yeah. So I was happy to see that, and for me the list is not permanent. Like yeah, people will, they will put in some new places, they will give star to the new one. And yeah, they may take back the star. Like I saw that in Malaysia before. Yeah, like you may have this year, but the next year they're gonna take it away from you. So yeah, so for me, I would just, I want to see how it goes. And from the marketing perspective, that's great for Vietnamese tourism. And there's a lot of misunderstanding about it as well. Like some people, they think about that. It's like, oh, it's always fine dining, like it's always expensive, which is not the case.
That's what I thought.
No.
And then I found out it's part of being in the guide. So not getting the star is mostly fine dining, right? Like being on the guide, one of the criteria is like value for money. And one of my favorite places that I've come to since the beginning is near Bintan Market. It's called Bet Me In. And that was added to the guide for like value for money and taste. And so it's quite funny because their food I don't think is that great. Like you can go and get street food for better, but it's really good for what it is and it's in a touristy area. But the only annoying thing is I've been back there a couple of times since because if someone comes to town, I'll normally take them there because it's central and it is good food but it's not cheap. That's the difference. So like Kumtam would maybe be 40,000 street food, but at Bet Me In it's like 100,000, but it's cleaner and whatever, blah blah blah. But anyway, the last twice I've been, it is packed, like lines out the door.
Yeah.
Since it got added to the Michelin Guide.
Yeah, and I think it's great, because like again, you like we live here and we think it's so easy to navigate the city, but it is not.
Like I know where to get Kumtam. Why are you going there? Yeah,
Exactly. So for me, it's just like yeah, the list is not perfect, but I think it's great for tourists and for people who first come here. And then yeah, like for example, I have 1 star at like just a casual dining place. But yeah, when you go to Bangkok, for example, I had a dinner at Element, 1 star in Bangkok, and it's fine dining. So it doesn't have to be. I think 1 star doesn't have to be, but from 2 and 3, it's getting pricier, and yeah, the experience also elevated. But yeah, I think for me, I also followed it when I travel, in for example, I went to Singapore and Malaysia for my birthday. And yeah, so I also followed it. What my tip is, if you want to try local food, maybe you shouldn't follow it. Yeah, but if you want something fusion, I definitely think you should try on the Michelin guide. Because a lot of my friends, they come to me and they were like, where is a good local food in Bangkok that has Michelin? I'm like, I don't know. I don't think you should, Because like you can Google and, had a high rating, but like when it comes to local food, I don't think you should come to a Michelin star place.
You mentioned a little bit ago about bringing more tourists to Vietnam. What I think something like the Michelin Guide coming and the increase in the quality of the restaurants is it brings, and this might sound bad, but a better class of tourists, because I know from reading things that Vietnam is well known for bringing tourists. It's got like the lowest spend. I don't know if you know this. Like tourists come to Vietnam and they don't spend much money. which you can see because obviously things are very cheap here, but they come and they don't spend much money. And I know that's something that Vietnam government or the tourism are looking at. How can we increase how much people spend? Because it's not just Vietnam. People go to Thailand or somewhere else in Southeast Asia and they will spend more money, whereas they come to Vietnam and they're barely spending anything. So with more restaurants of a higher quality, I think it's going to help attract people come to Vietnam, and that's going to take a long time because people come to Vietnam for the street food. Like you said, you go on YouTube, that's all you're going to find. That's all people think about. And it makes sense because food is absolutely delicious. But having more availability of nicer restaurants. And I went for I'm 41 now. When I went for my wife took me for my 40th. I'm terrible with names. I can't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was off Win Hue Walking Street. And it was just incredible, like a 7-course meal. I didn't even know it existed. And it's like, this is amazing.
Monkey Gallery?
I think it was Monkey Gallery. Yes. Yeah. Really nice
Good
place.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a misconception as well, because like when I work in this industry, there's a lot of nice restaurant, like high end too. And like I always tell my friends, because I don't know, because I was born and raised here. So I don't know how be like from outside looking in, but from what I've seen, there are so many nice places and not cheap. Like it can be really expensive, like anywhere that I've been, even Europe too. Like for example, if you go to like I don't know, 3-star Michelin, right? It usually like 400, 300 euros or something. And here you can find that too. Like it's not cheaper. And I'm saying that with confidence. Like I feel like it's a misconception of Vietnam having like you said, Saigon and Vietnam is like, yeah, very different, right? I'm always really excited when they come and I show them this side of Saigon and I'd be like, what? Because they don't know that. Yeah. And then like you said, the street food is great. But yeah, why not open to, new market, right? And then the thing is, I also find it really crazy when people complain that why this is Vietnamese food, but why is it so expensive? It can be expensive too. And yeah, like if you watch, I don't know, but I watched the process of making some certain dishes in Vietnam. It's complicated. Yeah, and I don't know why. We should all rise the standard together, in a way. And I always tell my friend, yeah, like you have to check that out because the scene is wholly different. And I can see in the future, Saigon would be one of those, yeah, culinary experiences. Yeah, up there with the guy. I hope so because you see Bangkok, right? Oh, they've been there for a while. They're great with tourism. I feel like Saigon is the first one to start, and then Hanoi, and then now Da Nang. And Da Nang is still new, right?
Moving in the right direction. And interesting you're saying about the availability, the price. So my sister had never come to Vietnam. She was due to come, and then she's so selfish. She got pregnant. No, I'm kidding. So she has a baby now, which is amazing. I'm so happy about that. So she couldn't come, and I think Lindsay, if you watch this, I don't think she does watch this or listen to it, but if she does, you can tell me. I don't think she came for a while because of that perception that Vietnam is dirty, it's chaotic, food's dirty, you're going to get sick. Some of those things are true. Some of them are somewhere in the middle. But once I started to show like pictures of, oh, by the way, we're in this really nice cocktail bar, we're in Layla or wherever, like, and you're like, one of my favorite things is you can do both. You can go to the street and drink on the street with like some plastic chairs and then walk around the corner and go to Layla. It's like, that's one of the things I love about it. But once she started to see that there was like nice things here, she did book a flight to come and she had to change it because she got pregnant. So that's not her fault. But so I went to visit her. She lives in Australia and you can't get a coffee, like a cappuccino, for less than $5 Australian. And I thought that seemed really expensive. And then I did the maths and I was like, well, it's about 85,000 dong. It's about the same as a cappuccino here. Not even D1, just almost stand. Like, so people say, oh, coffee's so cheap in Vietnam. And it can be. And I love my cafe suada. And I'll go in the morning and I get a Fin coffee. Cafe suada costs 20,000 dong, which is like $1.10 Australian, right? So obviously that is available. But if I want to go and get a cappuccino, it's going to cost 50, 60, 70, all the way up to 80, 90,000 dong, which then you're like, that's the same price as Australia. So there is a bit of a misconception Vietnam can be cheap, but it can also be on par with the rest of the world. And the quality, like some of the, I mean, I like my coffee, so I don't want to go on too much, but sometimes you get a cappuccino here and you're like, this is just incredible. And as I said, I was just in Australia. I got a couple of cappuccinos there. They were absolutely garbage. I was like, this is awful. You know, when you've paid $5-6 for it. And I'm a bit of a coffee snob. I am a coffee snob, I'll admit that.
Right.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap it up
Yeah.
with your top 3 recommendations. So not street, it doesn't have to be fine dining, but like 3 nice restaurants. We mentioned Monkey Gallery, so we don't need to mention them again. I would recommend it. It was unbelievable. 3, because I actually want to know myself, because my wife asks me all the time, where should we go to eat? Let's go somewhere nice. And do you know what I do? I message Joval. I will send a text. Yeah. She normally just says, check my website, because she updates her website. The last time I asked her, she's like, yeah, check my website. And I was like, yeah, she's probably sick of all of Saigon messaging her every day. Like, where should I eat? Where should I
I'm
go?
pretty sure. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Pretty sure she's sick of it.
Yeah, like she gets so busy
Yeah.
answering because I asked her to.
Yeah, you ask her to, right? See, we all do it. So everyone go message Joval Chan right now. She's the premier food blogger in
Shout
Saigon.
out to you, babe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And check out our website.
yeah. Oh, that's great.
But what's your top 3 then?
Oh my God, it's so hard. But I will go to the one that I go often. And I think the one that I go really often, it has to be pizza at 4P. And I'm sorry that it's not Vietnamese
You're
food.
so basic.
Yeah.
It's Japanese pizza.
Yeah. But I think it's so great,
No,
you
it is
know.
good, yeah.
And then it just like if I don't know where to go, I go there. Yeah, I know that I'm gonna get something good and
Can I
I'm gonna
guess
be
your favorite
happy.
dish?
Oh please.
Because we go semi-often as well with our friends Lewis and Kim. And Kim's Vietnamese as well. And she gets the same thing every time. And I'm going to guess you get the same thing. The crab pasta. I wanted to share with you about one of my favorite affiliate partners, and that is Fiverr. I've been using Fiverr for years for everything from ordering YouTube thumbnails to keyword research, writing podcast articles, even to Canva designs and thumbnails and more. So whether you're a budding entrepreneur, a podcaster, or anyone in between, Fiverr has got you covered. It really is the go-to platform if you want to find freelancers offering a massive range of services to help you on any project. Maybe you need a stunning new logo or just a short animation, whatever you need, you can find it on Fiverr. What I love the most is how easy Fiverr makes it to connect with talented freelancers from around the world, all at prices that will fit whatever your budget is. Plus, with Fiverr's secure payment system, you can trust that your transactions are safe and secure. No dodgy people you meet on Facebook groups that disappear with your money and never give you what you want. What, that's only happened to me? As an affiliate partner, I will get a small commission if you use the link and at no extra cost to you. As an affiliate partner, I will get a small commission if you click my link and you buy something, all at no extra cost to you. And best of all, you will be directly supporting the making of this podcast that you're listening to for free, but it is not free to make. So why wait? Head over to somewhere that you've probably never been before. It's called the show notes. So whatever app you're listening in, if it's Spotify or Apple Podcasts or anything at all, head to the show notes, click on my special link, and then you can browse thousands of gigs ready to help you with your next project.
Oh, it used to be. Yeah, but now I'm more like a pesto person.
Okay, right.
Yeah. But I know what you mean, right? And then yeah, I think that's one I would totally recommend. Just, so you don't have to think about where to go. The second place that I go often, because I live in D2, we live in D2.
Shh,
is
don't tell people to come and find us and stalk us.
Oh yeah, for you.
For me, for you, because they think that you're Sonny's wife.
No, oh my God.
D2 is a big place. It's okay.
I would totally go to the deck. Oh, I love that
I've not
place.
been to the deck in
Yeah,
years.
oh my God, you have to get a table, right where the water
Mm.
is, and it's just amazing. Like,
Have you still got happy hour? Because I'm a happy hour kind of guy.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, I don't drink.
You don't drink at all?
Not at all. I don't drink
I plan
alcohol.
my drinking by happy hours.
Smart.
But
Yeah.
the deck, I've not been to the deck in
Yeah.
years.
Like I go there really often just because you can go there to see the sunset. Yeah, and then, just do whatever. But yeah, you have to get close to the water,
That's
please.
a good shout.
I like sushi and I like omakase. Do you like omakase?
Remind me what's omakase
Okay.
again?
It's
It's the
technically just
pancake?
just
No.
no, just like courses. Like you don't
Oh,
you
like a
yeah.
izakaya.
No, izakaya is more like drinking food, but omakase is technically like you don't order, like you have a set menu already,
No, I've not
and they
been. I
choose
don't eat I don't
and
eat seafood, so.
oh, that's why.
And I drink, so I go to izakayas and get drinking
Right,
food. Yeah, yeah.
izakaya.
Yeah.
Yeah, for omakase, I usually just go to Kyoto. It's really close to City Garden, and the reason why I like it because it's quite casual, and it's good for the price range. Yeah, and I think a lot of people in Saigon they know about that one.
So just to review, your top 3 places in Saigon, Vietnam was a Japanese pasta and pizza place,
4P,
was a Western
the deck,
cocktail bar,
yeah,
and a Japanese place.
and the Japanese
That's your top
place.
3 places
Yeah,
in Saigon, Vietnam.
yeah, and I have a reason for that. Vietnamese food, yeah, like you said, right? I love street food as well, but yeah, my stomach is not the strongest. And the second thing is, I usually get them delivered because it's so hot out.
It's really
You
hot
know
right
what I
now.
mean? Yeah. So yeah, if it's about Vietnamese food, I
Top
really
3
like
Vietnamese foods, go.
bún riêu.
Bún riêu, I don't like it. It's too
You know,
fishy.
yeah, but I like that in Chợ Bến Thành. Yeah, I think that is my favorite one. I only eat bún riêu in that one. Never go anywhere else. Oh, I'm basic. I like pho.
See,
I
I don't
love
like
pho.
pho. Yeah.
You know?
No, I just
God.
think it's so
And
overrated.
a lot of people gonna shout at me for this, but I like pasta, pho hoa pasta. I love it. I send everyone there. And yeah, a lot of people want to yell at me for that too. And I think the last one I have to say from my hometown. Yeah, so it's a bánh xèo, but it's not the one here. Small, yeah, like from the center version. Like not that too crispy, small but a little soft. And oh my god, it's just great. So intrigued, by food just because it's very personal. Yeah, and I think you agree with me, right? That it's a very personal experience, and you will find your people who gonna share the same love for that place. Yeah, and it's a lot of memory, and an art itself. Yeah, like some people do it for 3 different generations. Yeah, so that's why I love food.
I was listening again to our previous interview, and you were talking about doing those kind of challenges. I think Sunny gave you a challenge to spend. You can only spend $10 a day, and my response to that was, "That's so easy because I would have come time for breakfast, come time for lunch, and come time for dinner." And that's maybe my favorite one is come time. And I interviewed a Vietnamese guy called Daniel in the first season, and as well, that was one of the questions was, "What's your favorite Vietnamese food?" And he was just like, "Come down." Like he's like, I could literally eat it all day, every day. And at that time, I don't think I'd really had it. So I didn't really get it, and now I get it.
Yeah,
It's delicious.
I had the chance to introduce it to the US ambassador. Yeah, yeah. And it was so amazing because he totally ate it, Because when you film shows, sometimes people don't really eat. And it was like 9 a.m. in the morning. And he went in with the fish sauce and everything and with canh chua. Yeah, he did great. And yeah, that's why I think food really brought people together, He went at it.
This is just to finish
Yeah.
up. I've been having this discussion lately with a couple of people. One of the things that fascinates me about Vietnamese food, right, is in the West, we have breakfast, lunch, and dinner food. So breakfast is like cereal or yogurt, pancakes if you're American. Lunch will be like a sandwich or a salad maybe. Dinner would be pasta or a pizza or a meat and veg, something like that. We have very different meals for each meal. Like you'd be looked at insane if you had pancakes for dinner, right? But in Vietnam, it doesn't matter what meal it is, you can eat the same dish. Like there's a Mi Quang place across from me, packed at breakfast, packed at lunch, packed at dinner. I've eaten it for all 3 meals. Come time, I've had it 10 in the morning, I've had it for lunch, and I've had it for dinner. It's just, it's one of the things I love about Vietnamese food. It's not set to one meal. You can just
No.
eat it whenever you want.
Yeah, and I think the challenge is I don't know about other Vietnamese, but I need like warm meals. I don't understand the cereal concept.
That's an interesting. I never thought about that. The
Yeah.
temperature
I
as
I
well, and it's
need
so hot
warm
here.
meal. Exactly. People would eat it and sweat and it's great. Like nobody complains.
It'll be 39 degrees, and I see somebody with like a steaming bowl of hot soup, and I'm like,
Yeah,
why are you
we
doing
do
that?
that, and we need that 3 meals a day. And yeah, some people will disagree, but
So you
I
don't have
do.
cold food, don't you? I never thought about that.
No,
There's no
like
cold dishes.
no, like for example, like banh mi, like yeah, some people have it for breakfast because it fast, but yeah, like I'm a soup person. So yeah, I like anything with broth. Yeah, it is, right? I don't know, but yeah, like I need warm meals all the time, and oh my God, it sounds like a lot of work. But yeah, I cannot do it like cereal sandwich. I would die. Yeah.
Well, I'm hungry now. I know this often happens when a Vietnam podcast we get talking about either food or beer, and I'm either ready for a beer and ready for food. I'm hungry now. Thank you so much for coming on again. I can't believe it's been 3 years since we first talked. 3 years. I still never met you because you said you never leave your apartment. I don't go out the house much these days either. Um, it's really amazing to meet you in person. I appreciate you coming on the last time, pandemic times, doing it on Zoom. Obviously, I've actually watched you quite a lot on the Best of a Food Review show. I knew you weren't Sonny's wife. It wasn't me Googling that. That was really funny. I couldn't believe that when I saw that in my set. It's like, this is why people searching your website. And tell people now, where can they find you? Because you are a food influencer, a food and beverage KOL, which I had to Google that phrase recently as well.
KOL?
KOL, it's a key
Oh,
opinion leader,
yes.
which is basically a fancy term for an influencer, right?
I think so. I think so.
Marketing people were like, we can't call them influencers. We need a fancy acronym. So
Yeah.
it's KOL,
Key.
key opinion leader. But where can people
Yes.
find you?
Oh my God. Yeah. Labels. I love labels. But yeah, thank you so much for having me again. Like I told you before, when you were setting things up, that I don't really do a lot of interviews anymore. I don't go to events anymore because I've been dedicated my time to study. Yeah, I'm studying German as well, by the way.
You said that
So
the last time 3 years ago.
yeah, and then
So
now
you should
I'm.
be fluent by now.
Oh, I hope so. I'm having a test coming. I'm so happy to see you in person. I think I do much better when I see you in person. I don't do well with pandemic. I'm very active on my Instagram at Thuyen Vo 12. Yeah. So please put it because
There
I
was a
don't know.
living other
Thuyen
twin
Vo.
Vos where you were the 12th
Oh
one.
yes, yes. How you do that? I messaged her. I was like, "Can you give it to me?" She's like, "No."
No way. Which number? Number one?
No, Thuyen Vo. Somebody
Oh,
had
with
that.
no
Yeah,
numbers.
with no number. And I was shooting for that. And she was like, how about no? So yeah, I went with 12, which is my birthday date. Yeah. And then I'm also on Facebook. Yeah, which is Thuyen Vo. No 12. And I have TikTok as well. As Thuyen Vo as well, which is getting boring. And you can find me on LinkedIn. Actually, Jovo is the one that got me there because I was not very, active. Yeah. And then I saw her post about, how she got in touch with a lot of like-minded people on LinkedIn. And I started posting more. And yes, it's great.
I've just started using LinkedIn for
Yeah,
my business like
please.
2 months ago, and it's
Yeah,
a whole different world.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
Like,
you
why am I wasting time on Facebook? If I want to grow my business, get on LinkedIn. and talk to
exactly.
people.
So yeah, if any other influencers, I hope you check that out too, 'cause it's great. Yeah, and that's where you find me. Hopefully YouTube one day. Not yet.
Well, thank you very much for listening to this episode of a Vietnam podcast. It's really exciting to be back for season 10. If anyone's a regular listener, I stopped for almost 2 years making any episode. I lost a lot of the passion, a lot of the energy and enthusiasm for it. I really wasn't. I stopped making because I wasn't enjoying it really. And
I feel you.
I've got the energy back, and I'm really excited to talk to people and share episodes again. So thank you so much for listening. Thank you for coming on. The best thing you can do, if you enjoy this episode, please send it to someone else. Please share it. Let other people know about this podcast. Whether you're visiting Vietnam, you live here, or you want to come, send me a message, get in touch. Obviously, do all that things that people always say: share, subscribe, like, all of that stuff. I hate saying it, but I feel like you have to do it. You just
Yeah.
have to, right? I hate it, but you
Yeah.
have to say it.
It's a little reminder.
Just a little reminder. Have you ever done it? I don't think I've ever turned on the notifications and subscribed because somebody told me to. I've only ever done it because I wanted to. But I'm telling you, go do it. Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thank you.
Hột
Bye.
gà nướng, hột vịt lộn, hột vịt sữa, trứng cút lộn, ớt xào đây.
I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you're like me, you may use your laptop at places where you have to use public Wi-Fi. This opens you up to digital snoopers. It's a massive problem. It can be your internet service provider, or you know who, looking at what you do online, or a cyber criminal trying to steal your bank passwords or credit card info, or even a hacker at the next table trying to steal your sensitive data. These days, it is vital that you keep your data safe. NordVPN keeps all of these snoopers away. It makes your internet activity private, protects you from accessing dangerous websites that are phishing for your data, and lets you enjoy your favorite content securely, even while away from home. And it's easy to use, even I could use it. I've actually been using NordVPN for years now here in Vietnam, and I'm excited to be an affiliate partner with them. I've used NordVPN to watch Netflix, BBC, Disney Plus with ease, and I also know that my information and data are safe from prying eyes, whoever they may be. Join now and you'll get 68% off and 3 months free when you go to my link, nordvpn.com/SMB. Just again, for those hard of hearing, nordvpn.com/SMB. The link is also in the show notes. I know nobody checks them out, but go check that out and you can get the link from wherever you're listening to this podcast. As an affiliate partner, it also means that I will get a small commission when you sign up, but at no extra cost to you. So not only will you be getting a great deal through 7 Million Bikes, you get a great VPN and you'll be supporting 7 Million Bikes podcast. Stay safe online and enjoy the shows you love. Any questions, just let me know. You know how to get in touch with me. And thanks for listening to this show. Cheers.